Ahoy guys, how are we doing? Welcome to Mutiny Pirate Survival. Now today what we're going to do is we are going to go through the basic setup for playing this game. So there's a bit to go through and I want to make sure that I get all the right information out to you guys. Hopefully you will find this helpful, knowledgeable and beneficial. So when you jump into Mutiny for the very first time, you will find that you will pretty much find yourself at this part of the island here. You will have your first sailor and he will ask you to set up a quest. So we can go ahead and accept the quest tutorial, and you'll find here where the little map here basically tells us to find a copper knife, a sturdy short pants, find a flask of water, and we can start going. Now it's actually really cool because you will find helpful little bits and pieces like this where you see the little perimeter ring around your player there that will guide you and will tell you where to find and locate certain things to begin with when you guys set yourself up. Now that we have completed our little chest there to repair it, we can find ourselves the knife, the pants, and I'm going to throw a few of these things back into here. There we go. And then we've got some food and we've got some water, which is fantastic. So we've gone ahead and done just that. It's told us that it's updated the quest tutorial there. We can go back to our sailor here and he will let us know that we've completed it. So what we can do is go ahead and equip. Now our fella here is a little bit on the hungry side there, so we're going to have to feed him eventually. And if we do that, all that we need to do is just craft, and we will be able to craft the said item. And what you should find is that your sailor will come over and start crafting that particular resource. Now in this case it's food. And then as we sort of explore the map over here, we can see that we've got a few workstations that we do have that do require repairing in order for us to interact with them. So to do that, repair, and then from here you're presented with a couple of options here that will allow you to start crafting a few bits and pieces here. And there is a few other chests that we've got here, and it's pretty good because the game allows you to start with a starter base and you guys can pretty much start working from that. We've got a couple of broken down weapons. We've got a copper pickaxe and a copper axe, and then you've got some cloth and rope there as well. And also our first storage station here, we do have ourselves some food and water that we can utilize as well. And the most important thing with the game of Mutiny is our storage containers. So what I mean by that is once you have finished crafting the storage container and your sailors have started crafting items, you'll find that the cooked meat that we just cooked up here has gone into the storage automatically. If you do not have the storage container set up and yet you've crafted an item, whatever it might be, it'll remain here and you'll have to manually come over to the workstation and physically take the item if you haven't crafted the workstation. And same rules apply for anything else in the game with regards to maximum resources that you have crafted. If it does not basically have that storage in it, you're not going to be able to have it automatically populate into the storage container that you can see here. Now that leads us on to the next part here. You do have workbenches and you do have storage containers that you can set yourself up. So the quickest way to do it is you hit the build menu, you go to your workshops. So what you'll find here is that you've got your carpenter table, your stone cutter table, leather dryer, the loom, the foundry, workshop, herbalist table, armor workshop, the forge, the gun workbench, and the kitchen. And for storage, we have the small boxes. Now you have a limited amount of small boxes that you can utilize, so there is no infinite amount, and this is where the emphasis comes back onto the units here that you can see. So we've got wood, stone, cloth, the trinkets, the metal, you've got the weapons, armor, and chemistry table. Storage unit. Let us go ahead and sort these out and we'll place them here. So the ones that we can definitely get ourselves started up with at the very least. We've got this fella over here, and of course we have the wood storage container. So it's pretty much just about everything for us to get started with the containers, with the exception of these guys here at the moment. So it is very important that you do have these storage containers here, because eventually you will run out of storage with these fellas here, and you can only make so much. So my biggest suggestion there is to create the storage units. Now from there, you can have the ability to start building as well. So with that, you can build and filter out your base in however way you possibly want to do it. Now for me, I kind of like a boxy design that I can sort of have all of my stuff in the one area, and then this way I've got the freedom to move about and do what I need to do from there, of course. So don't like it to have them too narrow or anything like that, but simply what you need to do is we need to first, of course, grab some resources, get all this organized. So we will get into our local zones and everything else in between in a moment, but for now, while we're here, I'll give you guys a quick rundown. So to simply place down a floor, all that you need to do really is just do just that and just tap on the screen there. Now there are some broken walls and doors there that you can redo and fix up if you wish, so that's entirely up to you how you want to do it. With the wall here, let's just go ahead and create ourselves the wall. We have run out of materials, but you guys get the idea. So you will have the ability here to set up your own base, make it the way you want to make it, and basically have it all set up for success. Now, in order to defend your base, there are various ways that you can do that. So one would be in the form of stakes. So you can lay down some stakes here, and this would be purely for when it's time, when you do have player versus player raiding. Okay, so that's right, you do get the ability to raid people's places, and I'll definitely show you that in a moment once we get into the overmap there to show you guys exactly how that works. So from here, you can upgrade the stakes as well to a high density one, so you will have that ability. So that will come shortly once you guys are sort of progressing into the game. But for now, what we're going to do is let's grab these two here, and looks like we're okay with food for now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly eat one of these and drink one of these. You will notice that there is a little window that just sort of rotates around that icon there. That's a cooldown, so you guys have to be pretty much onto that as well right from the beginning. Now what I mean by that is to make this game a little bit more challenging, the developers have put into the game that you do have a little cooldown timer each time you tap on your healing, food and water resources. So do keep that in mind. Have a read as to what the cooldown timer will be. It's 10 seconds for the food, 5 seconds for the water, 5 seconds for the sugar cane, as you can see there, and you will find different frequencies, anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds. Now our tutorial for the second part here, we go ahead and accept this one here. And okay, so we found the flask of water and meat, we're saved, and this knife will be great for hunting small animals. We need to get some bamboo, start a fire, I'll cook us a great meal. So we're going to produce baked meat and then go back to the sailor. So from there, as the pop-up sort of indicated, it pretty much tells us to go over here, cook our meat, as you can see. Now, our sailors should run about and do just that for us. But for the purpose of this video here, well, is he doing it? No, he's not. Okay. There he goes. Perfect. So now, as you can see, he will start preparing the food there. Now, what you've got to understand as well is if you put your workstations inside without an access lead-in to the workstations, your sailors will not be able to craft anything. So do keep that in mind when you're constructing your base. That's just some helpful tips there. So this will only take a minute. So as you can see, it's only about 30 seconds away. So while we're waiting for that to happen, you've got your two starter sailors here. So these sailors have come with you along for the journey, and you'd be able to get them to do certain things and tasks around your base. So predominantly your sailors will be here to help you craft your items. Now you won't be able to craft them yourself, so this is where you do need the help of your sailors to craft your resources, your weapons, your clothing, anything else in between. Now under here you have your applicants, and this is where once you have the ability to do bounties later on, you'll be able to save certain sailors and you'll be able to recruit them dependent on your facilitation to have more sailors. So I'll get into that in a sec. But we have here Fat Billy and Fat Jimmy. You can interchange and equip certain resources and items to them. Predominantly their native weapon and clothing and heals, and obviously the satchel bag. You'll be able to craft and pass these onto your sailors there. Now these guys will definitely help you in defending your base when that happens, so you'll be able to have a little bit more certainty and confidence that your base will be protected with your sailors there. But the more you have, the better for you. So with that being said, let's go over to our furniture, and you'll have the berths. Now the berth will allow you to have more sailors on deck, so the ability for you to upgrade the berths is paramount in order for you to have and acquire more sailors as time goes on. So there will be certain periods of times where you feel like, yep, you will need more sailors, so you will need to consider that. Now we should have already crafted up our meats, so we've got that there, that's all done. Now if you want to track along that, we produce the baked meat, and we need to go back to the sailor there. So we're going to hunt our animals first, so let's do that. Pick up the loot, and then we need to put in one more in order for this to be completed. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly finish that. Workbenches and storage. So craft this, the craft result is automatically sent to the appropriate undamaged storage. So it has to be undamaged. And then the workbenches and storages, there should the storage be broken or absent, the product has been taken from the workbench manually. So that's what I mentioned earlier before. So we've done that. Let's go ahead and complete this. It's in our inbox. So leveling up, okay. So level up provides points that can be distributed between your 4 stats. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So as you can see, we've got damage, speed, defense, and then spirit. So in any one that you'd like to put in, let's say for example spirit, you've got 1 spirit point. Now in order to tame a animal, you need a minimum of 5 spirit points. Once you've done that, you'll be able to tame the most basic of animals in the green zones only, unless if they're located in any other zones. So let's go back to our tutorial here. Step 3, basically what we need to do is craft a simple axe. So we can craft a pickaxe, find limestone, go back to the sailor. What you'll find on your starter base over here is that you will have loose resources all around the zone here. You can hit the auto button and let your character loot up all the bits and pieces in the area. Now naturally, if there's no axe or pickaxe and you have trees or stone that requires to break down these resources here, you won't be able to do that. You're only going to be able to pick up all the loose bits and pieces. So we've got that there. Now that I've done that, let's go ahead and see what else we need to do. We need to craft the pickaxe. So let's go ahead and do that. That's been done. As you can see, we just got to go back to the sailor now. So let's go ahead and do that. And he should be, it is not our fella here, but it's our fella in the center. Makes us run around a long way here, of course. So let's go ahead and track the quest there. It's telling us to go and craft the simple axe. Now that we've done that, our quest is updated again. We go back to the sailor. So very important to make sure that we are tracking our quest as well, because it will keep us in check. Now we can accept the next quest. So we've got part 1 here as well. So leaving the location, so it's going to tell us to head out, and we can send a sailor on a journey. So I've got a few resources here that I do want to drop off, so let's go ahead and do just that. Now what's neat is that you can hit the store all button and everything automatically stores into the relevant container. Now providing that you've got the space for it, of course, that you do need to make sure that you do have that space. If not, then we're not going to be able to drop anything in there. There we go. So I'm going to keep these guys together and we're going to head out, and this is going to be our first introduction into the overmap. Okay guys, what we're going to do here is we're going to end the first video for this tutorial, and we're going to pick up the next video as we're going to go out into the overmap there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this first initial video. Hopefully you found this was informative and educational for you guys here, and if you guys can, please be sure to drop a comment, like the video and subscribe to the channel. That will really help out the video. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys soon.